Hello and welcome inside Yost Ice Arena for another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey. I'm Alex Drain on today's broadcast. We'll have David Kramer later on in the broadcast. It's Michigan and Wisconsin here from Yost, and it's a big top 10 matchup. Wolverines come in number 8 in the country. Wisconsin comes in at number 7. The last time Michigan played was a few weeks ago. They swept Notre Dame. They were named College Hockey News' Team of the Week. Wisconsin is the reigning College Hockey News Team of the Week after a massive sweep of formerly number 1 Minnesota in Minneapolis last weekend. Big implications in the Big Ten standings. We'll update you on those later in the game. But first off, to talk about the team starting lineups. In net for Michigan, number 1, Eric Portillo, the big Swede, has been starting the Friday night game now for a few weeks in a row. Michigan in a multiple-week coronavirus-enforced pause, but before that, Portillo had started in the game number 1 against Notre Dame and Ohio State, notched a couple wins in those games, looked really solid. For Wisconsin, it'll be Robbie Beydoun. He's been sharing the net with Cameron Rowe this season. Beydoun gets the start, and now the opening line's out there for these two teams. Ty Pelton-Bice and Johnny Beecher, a pair of number 17s, do the opening draw. Beecher wins it back. They get it to Nick Granowitz, and the game is underway. Beydoun comes out behind his own net, rims it around. Ciccolini had a chance at it. Now Pelton-Bice breaks out with it, passes across there to Linus Weissbach. Pelton-Bice, a senior, centering Weissbach, a fellow senior, on one side, and then Cole Caulfield, one of the NCAA's very best players and among the best prospects for future NHL talent in the entire National Hockey League. Cole Caulfield, their fantastic sophomore, on the right side, and he comes into the zone. Caulfield's pass for Pelton-Bice, not quite crisp there, bounced off a skate. Michigan gets to it in their own end. Van Wy had it and lost it. Now Blankenberg gets to it. Passes across to Owen Power. There's a lot of future NHL talent between these two teams, arguably two of the 5 most talented teams in college hockey. Philip Lapointe with the firm check behind the net, banging around there. Now it rims around, and Wisconsin plays it into their own bench. Now the face-off, see where they're going to put it. It's going to come just outside the Badger blue line. You look at Wisconsin, they're really bolstered by their top 6. Those top 2 lines, as we mentioned, the Weissbach, Pelton-Bice, Caulfield line. That's the first line. And then you've got Roman Ashawn, Dylan Holloway, and Brock Caulfield. That's the second line. They are the top 6 scorers for Wisconsin, all 6 of their top 6 forwards. Michigan wins the draw. Jake Harrinan swings it on in. Goes into the corner. Michigan played Wisconsin in Madison back in November. Wolverines took 5 of 6 points, winning the first game in regulation. They won the second game during the 3-on-3 overtime in Game 2. It was Thomas Bortolo, the man with the puck, who scored that overtime winner in Game 2. He turns it over. Wisconsin will come up the other way. Badgers have got the third line out there right now. Michigan's countering with the Bortolo line. Now here's a shot that comes in from the point, easily held by Portillo. It'll be a face-off in the Michigan end. That's the first shot on goal of the game. It came from Sam Stang, freshman from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Detroit Red Wings draft pick. It's nestled in on that third line. Wisconsin in total has got 6 forwards who have been drafted and 2 defensemen who have been drafted for 8 total drafted players. Defensive zone draw won there by Matty Beniers. The Beniers-Johnson-Morgan line is out there now for Michigan. They are the top scoring line for the Wolverines with 2 potential top 10 picks in the upcoming NHL draft in Johnson and Beniers. Now puck picked back up by the Badgers. They skate out into the middle with it, turned aside by Michigan in the neutral zone. Now wristed on in, sent into the zone by Jack Gorniak. And then it will quickly go out of play for a whistle. A little choppy play where a $1:53 into the contest, 1 shot on goal. And it wasn't a particularly good one either. These teams feeling each other out. As we mentioned, Wisconsin comes in really hot right now. They are, as it stands at the moment, the number 1 team in the Big Ten. They are in the pole position to win the conference title, but Michigan controls their own destiny as well. If they win out, they will win the conference. And so this weekend's set here at Yost, oh so important. Badgers defenseman S swings it up for Pelton-Bice, too far for him. Portillo comes out behind his own net. We know that Portillo loves to come out and play the puck with the stick. Beniers picks it up for Michigan in the neutral zone. Cross to Keaton Pearson. Pearson's pass up to Kent Johnson. Now to Beniers. Nice back check by the centerman, Pelton Bice. Comes back. Ty Emberson, veteran defenseman, so steady on the back end. Looking for his partner, S. He'll pick it up. Skate out through the middle, but then turns it over right to Nick Granowitz. Granowitz dangles around the blue line, but then walks in a bit too early. Looked like Ciccolini was in a hair too soon, and we have another whistle. This is about the 4th or 5th whistle in the first 2.5 minutes. Michigan will send the Beecher line back out there, and now we get to see Dylan Holloway out there for the first time today. He wins the draw back to Inamoto, and Holloway really one of the big reasons why Wisconsin's playing so well. Now here's a great pass in front, and a chance for Holloway. Couldn't quite tuck it in. Got a nice feed, looked like from Brock Caulfield there. Now a man goes down in the neutral zone, and they're going to have a penalty. Roman Ashan gets taken down, I think, by Nick Blankenberg. Actually, it's going to be Granowitz, it looks like. They were both in the vicinity, but that'll be a tripping call. Michigan will head to the box, and Wisconsin will get the game's first power play. And again, we talk about those weapons that the Badgers can put on the power play. Michigan's power play has been very good since the Christmas break. This is a big test for them. You've got Holloway in the middle, Caulfield, a sniper at the point, Ashan and Pelton Bice, and then Brock Caulfield. It's a 5-forward power play. Very rare you see that in any level of hockey, but Tony Granato knows who his scorers are. Here's Holloway, pass across, too far for anybody. Nolan Moyle will pick it up. Moyle, the junior, speeds out with it. He'll bank it off the boards and comes in on Baydoun. Moyle circles around, and he'll allow his teammates to catch a breath. Now Pelton Bice comes up the ice with it. He'll enter the zone. Nice long stick there from Owen Power. Helped take the puck away. Power to it, though, and can't clear. Holloway locked up along those boards. Now battled for him. Michigan clears it out. This is a really good first 35 seconds, but then a great play by Baydoun to get the puck right up. Wisconsin's not wasting any time. Caulfield to Weissbach, across to Holloway, the first-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers in the 2020 NHL Draft. Holloway comes on in with it. He turns it over, and Michigan will just clear it right back out. Weissbach across Cole Caulfield, up to Ashan, sends it on in. Now swung around the boards. Cam York trying to clear it out, and it will just dribble past the blue line, and then Keaton Pearson to it. Pearson banks it off the end boards. He's got a man right there. It's Michael Pasajov, and he's just going to head right to the corner of the Wisconsin end as Michigan will kill a little bit more time off. Down to 40 seconds remaining in the Granowitz penalty. Weissbach behind his own net. Wisconsin has not gotten a single look of any quality so far in the man advantage, but they've still got 30 more seconds. Caulfield brings it up. Pass across, looking there for Matty D. St. Phal. Now Karanen battles for Truscott. Wiggles it free, and Ciccolini's able to clear it out. 15 seconds remaining. Now skating around in the neutral zone. Emberson across. This is the second unit now, more heavy with the defensemen. Tarek Baker out there as well. 5 seconds left in the man advantage. Baydoun is slapping his stick to let his teammates know. And now Granowitz is out of the box. That's a big first kill for Michigan, but a shot comes in. Portillo loose in front of the net. And the Wolverines able to clear it out. Now Beecher up to Granowitz. Granowitz comes down the right wing side. Granowitz in, takes a bad angle shot, blocked away. Wolverines have got it in the offensive zone, though. Blankenberg pass across, looking for Power. Now over to Beniers. Gets knocked off the puck. Still holds it in for a moment. Now Badgers will pick it up. They get across the red line, but the clear didn't get far. Owen Power slapped it down with that long reach. Now Michigan comes on up with it. Beniers and Morgan chase after him. Momoto is able to get it around to a teammate. Now Badgers come into the offensive zone with speed. Centering pass loose in front. Now it tips up high back to the blue line. Sent in. Shots right now 3-0 Wisconsin. They had the 2-minute power play, but Michigan killed that off. Blankenberg lifts a stick behind the net to Morgan in the corner. Now scooped up along the wall. Banked by Beniers, but not out. Held in there. Portillo comes out behind the net. He'll reverse it to Blankenberg. Now to Luke Morgan. Morgan passed into the middle for Beniers. Michigan's just going to get a wholesale change. They need to get guys off. Stretch pass on up. Wiggling around a Michigan man at first was a Wisconsin forward, but Cam York circles around to pick it up. He runs into trouble with 2 forecheckers. So steady, though, to get it over to Keaton Pearson. 6.5 gone here in the first period. It's been a while since we've had a whistle. Brisson over to Bordelot. And taken away on a nice back check by Linus Weisbach. Michigan forecheckers hovering around to S. He'll throw on the brakes and circle around. Bordelot chases after him. S up through the middle. Finds Caulfield with a burst of speed past the blue line into the offensive zone. And they're going to call that one offsides. 13:20 remaining here in the first period. Still no score between Wisconsin and Michigan. We got David Kramer now onto the broadcast. David, how are you?
Alex, I'm very happy to be here after some difficulty getting into the arena, courtesy of the excellent COVID-19 protocols we've been maintaining here at the University of Michigan. I have finally arrived for my first hockey broadcast this season. Very happy to be here and watching the Wolverines play off against the Badgers. And here now we see that deadly first line for Wisconsin with Holloway and Caulfield and our friend Linus Weisbach. By the way, one of the highest scoring lines in all of NCAA hockey.
Wisconsin and Michigan waiting for a second. Looked like they had to, looks like there was a loose stick over by the Badger net. Referee went and picked it up. He's going to hand it to the benches. Holloway is going to do this draw. Right now he's out there, looks like with Roman Ashan on the left wing. As we know, those top six forwards so dangerous for Wisconsin. Michigan won it forward. Van Wy tried to get into the zone. Now it's taken away. Stretch pass through the middle. Tips off a pair of sticks into the seats. We've got a few parents in attendance here today. Mostly seated along the sides of the ice. They'll do the draw at the Block M.
We'll see Van Wy against Holloway now here in the center ice. Ref blows a whistle.
And Van Wy and Holloway tie up for a moment, and then Emberson to it. He'll send it on in. Picked up in the on the boards. Michigan able to wiggle it on out. Van Wy had it for a second, then knocked off it by S, who just flips it back in. Truscott to it, around to Van Wy. Michigan's been very steady in their own end and the breakouts thus far now. Granowitz speeds up. Michigan comes in on sides. Granowitz there, takes a shot. And just getting a glove on it there was Robbie Baydoun. Granowitz had that hat trick against Wisconsin a year ago here at Yost Ice Arena, but this is a different Badger team. Last year, they gave up goals in bunches. This year, very sound defensively. A lot of improvements made, and that starts with the two goaltenders they brought in, Rowe and Baydoun. Baydoun, a transfer product to Michigan Tech. Now a turnover by Beecher in his own end. A shot from a bad angle. Portillo makes the initial stop, and then he gets the trapper on it. Michigan should have one shot. They're still listed at 0. Wisconsin now up to 4.
Well, some sound goaltending from Eric Portillo, and this is checking up to be probably one of the great goaltending duels of the Big Ten, as we saw last night. Former Michigan student athlete at the University of Minnesota.
Yeah, Jack LaFontaine against Dylan St. Cyr last night. It's a big weekend because Notre Dame and Minnesota are also playing. The top 4 teams in the Big Ten all playing each other this weekend. Huge for the standings implications. Wisconsin has to retreat back into their own, or into the neutral zone rather, before they can bring it back in. Blankenberg there along the boards. Now it's turned over. Pass into the slot. Michigan gets to it. Beniers circles around in his own end. Wisconsin very aggressive on the forecheck. Beniers, though, so mobile. Pass across as he got tripped up. No call coming. Johnson up to Beniers. Beniers in the neutral zone. Flips it down for Luke Morgan. Baydoun banks it around the boards. Looking across for Pelton Bice. Imamoto to it. And he'll get it up to Ashan. Now it goes all the way down. That'll be an icing.
Well, we've seen a lot of defensive zone presence in, at least for Michigan. They've kind of been hemmed into their own zone. Looks like they've had some difficulty getting through the neutral zone. Certainly some sound defending from Wisconsin. We're hoping to maybe see a little bit more offense getting generated in the remainder of this period, as we have yet to see that first shot for Michigan get recorded in the billboard above center ice. Bordelot wins or loses a face-off, but
yeah, Pasashov gets quickly to it. You see how aggressive Michigan is being on the forecheck right now. Both teams, it's just a bit of a chess match at the moment. Now here comes Caulfield down the wing, takes a shot. That one I think went wide.
May have been tipped.
Yeah. Now it goes into the corner, centering pass in front. Caulfield tries to find the net front area. Michigan retreats and gets to it. Now it's flipped up the ice, and behind the play is Pasajov. He comes right in, takes a shot, and a good save by Baydoun. A small rebound, now a long stretch pass up the other way. Wisconsin's got a breakaway. Right in on net, a shot, he scores! Wow. Trying to see the number there. That looks like 15. Matty DeSaint-Foul gets the opening goal. Michigan gets a rush on one end, and Wisconsin gets a rush on the other. DeSaint-Foul was way behind the play, and it was off the rebound save. Yeah, York and Pearson got caught up the ice and let a Badger slip behind them. The defenseman found him up the ice, and then DeSaint-Foul comes in. And
a nifty shot right over Portillo's left shoulder. Michigan's going to want that one back.
Well, that'll put Wisconsin up 1-0, and you see right there, for the first moment in the game, you got really end-to-end hockey, and just like that, you get Michigan's best scoring chance, followed by Wisconsin's best, and the Badgers are able to convert. They take a 1-0 lead, but these two teams, very potent offenses. I would not bet that's the end of the scoring here today.
Yeah, first and third, respectively, Wisconsin generating plenty of goals this season, leading the NCAA with 3.95 goals per game.
Couple shots there from Imamoto from the point, and Michigan now digging it out. Van Wy banks it off the boards along the side, and the Wolverines will just send it in. Both teams in the midst of changes. 1-0 Badgers. Goal by DeSaint-Foul. The assist goes to Owen Lindmark on the great stretch pass to spring him up the ice after Baydoun had made the save on Michael Pasajov. Now Baydoun comes way out of the net to play that puck. Granowitz to it along the boards. Battled for Tarek, Baker, and Mersch as well. Just dribbles out past the Wisconsin blue line. Now Blankenberg goes to send it back in. Instead it has to go up the boards, and now Blankenberg to it. Blankenberg looks, stretch pass through the middle, tipped aside, now picked back up. Here comes Mersch the other way. Sandwich check there with Blankenberg and Ciccolini both going after him. Blankenberg to it. He flips it up the ice. Blankenberg wearing the A on his sweater. Michigan's not dressing their skater captain, Jack Becker, nor their goalie captain, Strauss Mans. A little different leadership configuration for the Wolverines today. Cam York cross to Keaton Pearson. Pearson's pass up, looking for Kent Johnson. S with it in the center ice area. 11 minutes gone now in the first period. Pelton Bice comes into the offensive end. He rims it around the boards. Caulfield at the point. Pass across for S. Now tipped around. Luke Morgan battles for it. Loose, and then it's turned over. Beecher there, tipped up. Luke Morgan's going to chase after it. No icing. Emberson and Luke Morgan do battle in the corner. Morgan does well to win that race, but Johnson can't quite dig it free. And Lindmark up to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield with such speed goes around Karen and comes in on net. There's a shot and a save by Portillo. Now it's still in the offensive zone for the Badgers, and then Morgan's able to get to it and flip it out. Right now, Wisconsin's just got a bit of pep in their step. You can see the speed rushes from Cole Caulfield right now. Wisconsin really stretching the ice. Michigan trying to find their feet at the moment. Brendan Brisson gets dumped behind the play. Emberson takes a shot, and then it's tipped on out. Comes back down the ice. Imamoto to Matty DeSaint-Foul, the goal scorer. DeSaint-Foul comes up, finds his man on the left side, rims around behind, loose on the doorstep, and then another save from Portillo. Shots now 8-1, but we might have a penalty upcoming on Wisconsin.
Yeah, that puck actually might have gone through the crease.
Let's see what is going on. They blew the whistle when Wisconsin touched the puck. I'm not sure what the call is and why they blew that play dead. 7:49 to go in the first period. We're going to go to a commercial timeout, but we're still waiting to see why they blew that play dead. No one's headed to the box yet. Might have been a hand pass. Not sure what the story was there. Regardless, it's 1-0 Wisconsin. 8 minutes to go here in the first period.
Shots are 8-1 in favor of Wisconsin, and definitely seen that high-flying offense so far this first period. About 13, 12-ish minutes left to go in this first period, and I think right now, Pearson's probably telling his players down at the bench, it's time to slow the game down, bring it back to the pace that the Wolverines can control and excel at, which is, starts, with success in their defensive end. Speaking of Michigan Wolverine defenders, we have this program has a history of offensive-minded, short-stature defensemen. We've seen that with Nick Blankenberg this season. He's been excellent. Now we're looking at a face-off in the neutral zone, the left side. The far side near to the Wolverines' defensive end, and it's going to be Van Wy up against Holloway.
You see Van Wy gets motioned out of the circle. He does a quick turnaround, then steps back in. Now Holloway is cited for an infraction. Van Wy wins the draw back, but first to it are the players in red of Wisconsin. Now a shot comes from a bad angle in on Portillo. He makes the save. Now it comes to Imamoto at the point. He's going to try to hold that one in. It does look like he was able to do so. Now Holloway gets it in the corner, swings it towards Brock Caulfield. Now wedged up against the boards. Michigan battling for it, and it comes out all the way down the ice. Baydoun plays it behind his own net. Shots now 9-1 in favor of Wisconsin. Moyle, though, has got a quick chance in on Baydoun. Couldn't get a good shot away. Lambert's pass out to the top. York there finds Lambert. That one hot between his legs, though. Turns it over to Holloway, and you got to be careful with him potentially breaking down the ice. That's how Wisconsin got their first goal of this game. Just slipping behind the defense. They've got the players to hit those passes and the speed to stretch the game vertically. Granowitz banks it on in. Ciccolini gets a step on S. Then Beecher to it. Now Keaton Pearson pinches up, holds it in. Back to Beecher behind the net. Beecher's got a chance, takes a shot from behind the net, banked off the pads of Baydoun. Now the Badgers break out the other way. Beecher back checking hard. Wisconsin has it for a moment. Then Michigan trying to clear it out. Couldn't get it free, though. Looked like Moyle or Van Granowitz's clearing attempt held in at the point. Now dug out. Wisconsin on the doorstep, controlling the puck. Centering pass, loose, and it goes through the slot. Scooped up, and Michigan able to just feebly chip it out as they need to get new bodies out there. S, the defenseman, leads it up, but then turns the puck over for a second. Back to it are Wisconsin, and they're right back in the offensive zone. Kent Johnson there. Johnson strong on the puck, waits with it, and now Keaton Pearson picks it up and flips it on out. Chasing after it is Ty Emberson. Taken away, Kent Johnson. Johnson waits. Karanen to Matty Beniers. Beniers up the boards. In behind the Wisconsin net. Emberson around, Karanen. Beniers trying to hold it in, and now it's picked up. D. St. Foul banks it almost off the referee and down the ice. Portillo comes out to play it, and he almost turns it over to a Wisconsin forechecker. Pass across. Luke Morgan through the neutral zone. Across the blue line. Emberson behind his own net. Michigan's gotten a couple looks here and there. Turnover. Kent Johnson with it behind his own net. Backhand pass, shot at the side of the net. Battled for. It's loose. Luke Morgan still jamming away at it. Now here comes Garrett Van Wy. He will get it up to the point. Owen Power across Blankenberg. Down to LaPointe. His shot right through the crease. Now Power takes a long shot that is held onto by Baydoun. That's the best sequence for Michigan offensively, scrapping around in the offensive zone.
All started with some excellent defensive work from Keaton Pearson, who's on the ice for about a minute and a half. What a really long shift. He was really hemmed in his zone. He was able to get the puck out, and eventually this young line of LaPointe, Van Wy ended up coming in and helping out, and some really great offensive pressure. Some of the, as you said, Alex, some of the first serious pressure that we've seen, off some interesting and unique playmaking behind the back pass, behind the net. So now we're going to see a offensive face-off for the Wolverines. They may be switching some lines now.
There's a real question about who should be out there. It's Nolan Moyle that needs to get off. He's not on the Bordelot line, and it took them a moment to get that straightened out. And now Bordelot and Brisson are being yanked off the ice for some reason, and the referee is going over to talk to Tony Granato at the Wisconsin bench about what's going on. Now Van Wy and Moyle will be the ones to come on the ice, so Moyle was right to be out there all along, I guess. Van Wy and Holloway to take the draw. That one and a quick shot by LaPointe comes in on Baydoun.
May have been a set play.
Now tipped around behind the net, battled for, knifed out by Van Wy. Couldn't quite get it to a teammate. Roman Ashan cleared it out. LaPointe, though, can bring it right back in. Pass there to Moyle. Takes a shot. Baydoun saw it all the way, yet couldn't squeeze it with the glove. Puck still loose. Now around in front. LaPointe's pass looking for Van Wy. Couldn't connect with him. Moyle behind the net, hounded by 2 red jerseys. But Power holds it in at the line, flips it through the diagonal area, and then tipped around, banked off the boards. Owen Power across to Blankenberg. Blankenberg's pass looking for Bordelot. Bordelot's pass, he's got Brisson, went through him, takes a shot, rebound, and Pastujov put it through the crease. Now York with the shot, and Baydoun can't see that one through his screen, but it just goes wide. Now another try comes in. It's loose in front of the net. Pastujov tips around. Loose. Battled for. Baydoun hangs on. Michigan now with a flurry of chances. And Baydoun doesn't look very confident in that crease right now. Kind of flailing around. Struggling with rebound control at the moment.
Yes, and definitely some crease front presence from Bordelot and even Pastujov with excellent shots. I think Baydoun is not very comfortable with this Michigan offense now. They've definitely changed in the past 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll see if they can sustain this pressure through the rest of the period. 3 minutes, 44 seconds left.
Beecher wins another offensive zone draw for the Wolverines. Pearson swings it down low. It rims around the boards until Mersch gets to it. Emberson banks it off the boards. Imamoto far side. Throws it off the glass, and it hops on down. Cam York watching it. Now Beecher backtracks to pick it up. Now he skates right in front of his own net and almost turns it over. Cam York over to Pearson. Wisconsin will go off for a line change. Beecher with it in the neutral zone. Now it's sent on in. Portillo across to Keaton Pearson. Now it's up to Granowitz. And then sent all the way back down by Peltonen. Portillo comes out behind his own net to play the puck. Turns it over, though. It's got to be dangerous. Some of those forecheckers in the area. Now here comes Kent Johnson down the wing. Now over to Matty Beniers. Beniers into the offensive zone. So dangerous. Across to Morgan. Morgan's pass. He's looking for Johnson. Couldn't get a stick on it. Now another try comes wide, and Baydoun gets the glove down on it.
About 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in this first period. It's always exciting to see those freshmen out there generating offense. Matty Beniers, Ken Johnson, 2 upcoming potential first rounders, even in the top 5 of this 2021 NHL draft. We're expecting to see some excellent Michigan Wolverine players for the next couple of seasons.
Beniers wins the drawback, but Caulfield with that speed so quickly to it. Paddled around the boards there by Portillo. Portillo leaves it behind for Jay Karanen. Karanen can't clear it out. Shot comes in from the point. Very feeble, and Portillo easily is able to squeeze it. 2:20 to go in the first period. Shots now 10-5 Wisconsin. It was 8-1 only a few minutes ago, and Michigan has answered with some chances. They still trail 1-0, but it does seem like the Wolverines are starting to find their footing a little bit. Maybe a tad rusty after having not played in quite some time.
Peyton Bice now face-off against Van Wy.
Van Wy wins it back. Yeah, this has been a strong face-off streak now for Michigan. They've won quite a few draws in a row. Lambert comes in, and there's a shot! And a save by Baydoun. Able to knock it down and then put the glove on it. You see Michigan starting to skate with the Badgers at the moment. There are still guys like Caulfield that can burst away, but Michigan, again, starting to raise the compete level at the moment. 2:10 remaining in the first period. They're going to leave Van Wy out there, and the Holloway line will come on. They've put them in the defensive zone quite a bit. Face-off able to be won back by Wisconsin. Power with a good pinch, though, to hold it in. A shot comes in. Moyle in front of the net, and he couldn't tip it in. 2:02 remaining, and Michigan now just throwing everything at the net.
They have. It seems like they've split up the Holloway-Caulfield-Weisbach line that's been so dominant for Wisconsin this whole season. Maybe they are trying to match some of this excellent face-off the face-off that Van Wy has been doing, he's definitely leading the Wolverines right now in the face-off department.
Van Wy and Lindmark battle in the dot, but Michigan able to win that board battle at least for a moment. Now Roman Ashan still can't get it past Nolan Moyle. Michigan just scrapping there for a moment. Now Ashan brings it out. He's got Brock Caulfield on the right side. Brock Caulfield, takes a shot that has an odd bounce. But now Michigan's clearing attempt is turned over. Puck is loose in front of the net, and Owen Power is to it. Power over to his defense mate Blankenberg. Blankenberg banks it off the boards and comes on down to Imamoto. He'll wheel around with it. 90 seconds remaining in the first period. Dylan Holloway cuts into the offensive zone. His pass across for Sam Stang. Couldn't get a shot away. Now it's Michigan with it in front of their own net. Power being watched there by Holloway, checking him from behind. Now Passagov trying to dig it free. It's along the wall, and now it comes on out. Sent right back in, though, by Wisconsin. Portillo, with that massive height, stands up and just snatches it out of the air with the glove and puts it down. 1 minute remaining in the first period. 1-0 Wisconsin. We'll see if Michigan can get any more rushes before we head into the first intermission. Keaton Pearson finds Bordelot in the center ice area. And Baker quickly to it. Now a shot comes from Pearson at the point. Baker knocked it down. And now up comes Mersch to Sam Stang. Stang, pass in for Portillo. Portillo wings it around and now turned over right at the blue line. Good job to inhibit a potential rush for Brisson, though. Badgers with it. Now a nice pass in for an offensive zone chance, but a good job by Cam York to get the stick in front of an opportunity. Now Imamoto with it at the point. He's played a lot here in this first period. 15 seconds left in the frame. Wheeling around with it are Wisconsin. Back to Imamoto. Backhand pass across, looking for Ty Emberson. Passagov checks him. Now along the boards, 5 seconds remaining. 3 seconds, two. A shot from a bad angle doesn't find any part of the net. And that'll do it for the first period. Shots 11-7 Wisconsin. They get the only goal in the frame by Matty D. St. Foul, but a much better close to the period for the Wolverines. We'll see if they can carry that over into the second period.
I would agree, Alex. Definitely started out a little bit rusty, getting used to this ice surface, getting used to playing against a Wisconsin team that may not be as rested, but is certainly more comfortable on the frame. And we're going to be looking for some more offense coming out of the Wolverines in this next upcoming period. But until then, we're going to talk about some of the freshmen, starting with the forwards. Thomas Bordelot. What an excellent acquisition for the Wolverines. A product of many different countries. He was actually born in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
Although his father used to play for the French national hockey team. Fun fact. They moved to Switzerland, a la Austin Matthews, where his father played for SC Bern for a couple of years. And Bordelot's first language, in fact, is French, which is interesting because he represents Team USA at the junior level now.
Well, and he lived in Montreal for a few years. That's where he went to high school before he joined the USNTDP. So I believe he has dual citizenship in Canada and the United States. But, yeah, interesting choice for him to play in the USNTDP.
And well, we're certainly happy to have him on Team USA. And I also know the San Jose Sharks franchise are happy to have him as a part of their developing players all across the country and in their farm system. He was drafted in the second round this year by San Jose Sharks, which is kind of surprising considering he fell all the way the second round, considering how he has played and developed this season. Just goes to show you that you don't need to be a first-round pick to make an impact.
And he's definitely outperformed his draft position so far this year. Really impressive season from him. Not the most impressive first period. We'll look to see if he can create some more chances in the second.
Well, aside from Thomas Bordelot, we also have Matthew Beniers, another freshman who has had an excellent season so far, and he will be expected, as I said earlier in this broadcast, to go in the first round, probably in the top 10. What would you say, Alex, has been a key component of his game this season, other than his high-flying offense?
Well, with Beniers, especially as you look towards the NHL draft, one of the big reasons I think Beniers will go in the top 5 is that, this draft class, there's a lot of uncertainty. The Canadian junior leagues have not been playing very much. There's just so many questions. And with Beniers, he offers an NHL team the opportunity to have a guy with very few questions. and because he can do a little bit of everything. He's responsible defensively, plays on Michigan's penalty kill, great in the face-off dot, good passer, can score goals. I mean, with Beniers, you have nothing that really pops out, but he does everything well. And, you know, it's hard to find guys that are as well-rounded as Matty Beniers.
And a center, I might add. You know, teams are definitely always looking on the prowl for a first-line or a second-line center, and in Beniers, you'll find that guy who does everything really well, and it's exciting to see him play with some of the more flashy players on this Wolverines roster, and especially play against the likes of Cole Caulfield and Linus Weissbach, Dylan Holloway on the other side of the ice. We also have Kent Johnson, another freshman, and Owen Power, who has been the talk of the NCAA, a 6'5", I believe 218-pound freshman out of Ontario.
Yeah, Power's a special prospect in that you don't have a lot of defensemen that are that size that skate as well as Owen Power does. And that's a big reason why he is thought of so highly for the NHL draft. Looking to see more of a dynamic aspect from Owen Power, though, because he really has been fine so far this season. But he doesn't make plays like Quinn Hughes did, right?
Yeah.
Where he has that sort of really all-over-the-place aspect. However, I think he's more responsible defensively than Quinn Hughes was. And obviously, with his size, there's a lot of potential to be tapped into by an NHL team.
Well, it's exciting to see him play with Nick Blankenberg, a player who is exceptional on the ice, but very different in terms of playing style and also stature. Reminds me of many strong NHL pairings in the defensive pairings, like last year's Torrey Krug and Zdeno Chara, or Charlie McAvoy and Chara. Even on the St. Louis Blues right now, we have Colton Parayko, one of my favorite teams, and Torrey Krug. It's exciting to see, not only just the size difference, but the way that they can handle their responsibilities in different way, both offensively and defensively. And to add on to your point about Owen Power, I'd say it's probably been an interesting season being a freshman at the University of Michigan, being from Canada, and also dealing with COVID too. There's been a lot of uncertainty around this season. We're happy to have the Wolverines back here playing at Yost, and we're hoping that the NCAA can continue keeping these games going as we see the NHL starting to shut down a lot of games.
And that's really, I think, been the most surprising part of the season, is that the Big Ten has played almost every game. I mean, the only games, to my knowledge, that have been postponed were the ones a few weeks ago with Michigan. And, of course, it wasn't Michigan hockey that caused that. It was some other sport that, caused the athletic department-wide shutdown. So Big Ten, I don't know what the story is, why the Big Ten hockey has been so effective, but credit those 7 programs that have just operated flawlessly in terms of getting this season to its current point. I will say, the other freshman we have to talk about, of course, is Kent Johnson, who is actually the team leader in points, which is a little surprising because he doesn't play with the same pace that Matty Beniers does. But Kent Johnson is the most creative player on Michigan right now in terms of just his total ability to pass the puck, and there's a lot of Trevor Zegras in Kent Johnson's game in terms of finding those really creative passing lanes, and that's a big reason why Michigan is the number 8 team in the country at the moment. Yeah,
just behind Wisconsin, I might add. And in terms of power play, we're hoping to see some of those for the Wolverines this afternoon. We did see Wisconsin's, who is one of the top in the nation, but for the Wolverines, giving you some numbers, their power play percentage is 28.3%, which is best for third in the NCAA, which is incredible considering we did not see that last year with this team.
Yeah, and Michigan has been strong on the power play all year long, but their penalty kill has improved a lot in the last really pretty much since the Christmas break, and they've only given up 2 power play goals since they returned in January. And facing the lethal Wisconsin power play in that first period, they look great on the penalty kill, really confident there. So you're looking forward to that moving forward, because Wisconsin's just got so much firepower. And it really starts with Caulfield, but, Holloway as well, because, Caulfield's been there the whole season. He's been great the whole season. But Wisconsin's turned it on because they got Dylan Holloway back from the World Juniors. And with those two together, the Badgers have been tough to beat the last few weeks.
Well, not to mention Linus Weissbach as well. And now we see that, that line, that I think was playing together before the World Juniors. Now we've seen Holloway on the second line.
And that's a luxury that Tony Granato has, because you can have Caulfield on one line. He's a guy that can drive a line at an NCAA level, and so is Holloway. So you can split them up, and they can drive two different lines, and you have the ability, to be dangerous in that way. And that's kind of the formula for Wisconsin. They've got seniors like Pelton, Bice, and Weisbach, who are veteran guys, and then you got two blue chip prospects in Caulfield and in Holloway, and then a really solid defense, and they've gotten good goaltending this year. Although, again, I thought Robbie Baydoun was a little shaky in that first period. His rebounds were a little too juicy, I think, if you're a Wisconsin fan, for your liking. And how many plays in that first period did we see a shot come in, Baydoun sees it all the way, goes to catch it with the glove, and didn't squeeze it?
Yeah, and rather benign plays, I might add.
Yeah.
Not really high-scoring plays that you would normally, not coming in off the rush, kind of plays that were dead in the corner. And then, we had Garrett Van Wy and I believe Thomas, it may have been Thomas Bordalo or Michael Pasajov doing a pretty tame behind-the-back pass that normally a defenseman or even, the goalie would squash out with their stick. But, when you're not in the right position, when you're a little frantic in your crease, and it can tend to generate scoring chances for the other team that normally might not happen. And on that note, in regards to Wisconsin goaltending, I think it's a good point that you make, seeing their goaltender right now. I believe they had a freshman in net earlier this season. His name is escaping me right now.
Cameron Rowe.
Yes, Cameron Rowe, who is doing, whose record right now is 6-1-0, and he's the highest save percentage on Wisconsin right now at the .948 save percentage, 1.5 goals against average.
Well, and that's been a big part of Wisconsin's turnaround this season compared to last year, especially defensively, is that they completely cleaned out their goaltender room. Both the guys who got games last year are no longer on the roster. They bring in a freshman in Rowe and a grad transfer in Baydoun, completely remade the crease, and it's paid dividends. And their defense doesn't score a lot of points, but they're sound defensively, and we saw that in the first period, helping to clean up behind the net when Baydoun was giving up rebounds.
They have, and that's all without Keandre Miller, who's happily a Ranger now.
And Keandre Miller's playing well. I watched the Bruins and Rangers the other night. Miller is a really special player in his speed and his length. There was a play where Brad Marchand and him were racing down the ice into the Ranger end, and Marchand's a fast player, and Miller outskated him to get there and then used his long reach to get the puck. So he's been impressive so far, and the Rangers with Adam Fox and now Keandre Miller, that's a really good core on the blue line for a lot of years to come.
No, it is, and especially now with Tony DeAngelo leaving that team, or getting dropped by that team, we're not sure where he's going to end up. Keandre Miller is going to have is going to play a bigger role, especially under the guidance of players like Adam Fox. It's interesting to see how that defense has developed over the past years, and you could also say that with the University of Michigan. I'd say ever since the arrival of Quinn Hughes, we've seen the Wolverines develop a culture of high-scoring, high-flying, offensive-minded defensemen.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to see Nick Blankenburg take on that role, because that wasn't necessarily something that we expected out of him in the last season or even 2 seasons ago. But he's stepped up his game, and I'm not sure whether or not he will be considered a prospect or someone to look out for in the NHL. But
it's an interesting point, because Blankenburg to me has seemed like a guy that could get a look at the NHL after he graduates Michigan, because he's small. He's not very tall. He's definitely not very heavy. He gets knocked around a bit, but he's fast. For a guy that was not drafted, he can really skate, and he's smart. He's disciplined. I think he is the odds-on favorite to be the captain for Michigan next year in his senior season. I think there's a chance that he could get some professional tryouts down the line. But the team's now coming back out onto the ice. Wisconsin's the first one out. We're still waiting for Michigan. Here they come. About 35 seconds on the clock until the second period. Teams will switch ends. This is the period of the long change, which is going to be interesting because, of course, the goal we saw in the first period was something you typically see in a period of a long change, even though it was in the first, where someone slips behind the defense. So we'll see how these teams respond. It'll be interesting to see how Michigan comes out here in this second period. Really outplayed Wisconsin the last 5 minutes of that first period after really having it get taken to them the first 15 minutes. And we'll see what Michigan's response is. 1-0 Badgers. You're listening to Michigan Hockey on WCBN Sports.
We'll see who the Wolverines choose to start this period. Under some excellent face-off wins from Garrett Van Wy. Looks like Johnny Beecher is going to be out there in the center ice on a line with Ciccolini, and that is Nick Granowitz, Cam York, and Pearson starting on defense for the Wolverines. Nice face-off win by the Wolverines.
Beecher wins it back. He's now 3 for 4 on face-offs in this game. Cam York up to Ciccolini. He'll tap it on in. Beecher goes after it, using that size to spin around the net. Now up to Keaton Pearson at the top. Pearson reverses it back the other direction. Cam York wiggles down from his point to push it towards Ciccolini behind the net. Now it's turned over by Wisconsin. Michigan has to retreat though. Now pass across. York will bring it up on his own. 3 Badgers watching. Ciccolini pinches far side. Granowitz with it. Across to Ciccolini. Back towards Granowitz. And now Wisconsin's able to dig it free. 40 seconds in.
Excellent communication between Ciccolini, Granowitz, and York, allowing York to come in, generate some offense.
Caulfield flips that one down the ice. And Portillo, as we like to see him, just grab it with the glove, put it down, and now his players will get back up. Van Wy towards LaPointe. Wisconsin just so sound around their net, behind the net, have had some trouble breaking it out, but they definitely do a good job collecting it when it's behind the cage. Roman Ashan down behind. Power watching. Van Wy, nice job on Holloway, and takes it away from him. Good defensive play by Garrett Van Wy. Now across to Moyle, to Owen Power, to Michael Pasajov. Along the boards, Pasajov whacks away at it.
Nice 200-foot game from Mikey Pasajov.
Now stretch pass on up. Here comes Brock Caulfield. Good stick check by Nick Blankenberg. Negates some of the shot. Now here's a loose puck. Bordelot breaks to it. He comes right in on net. Pass across. There's a shot. They score! Bordelot to, I think, Brendan Brisson there. After the Badgers turned it over in their own end, the speed of Bordelot gets to it, and it does appear to be Brisson who gets the feed from Bordelot. We've seen those two hook up quite a bit this season, and Michigan ties the game with 18:12 to go in the second period.
Talk about that long change, Alex.
Yep.
That is, a great example of what happens when you get caught on the wrong change, changing at the wrong time. Excellent goal.
Another great pass from Thomas Bordelot to find Brendan Brisson, who scores that goal for Michigan, and it's tied 1-1. Badgers obviously are going to want a response, so Michigan's got to be careful here in the next few minutes. Brisson right there gets knocked down by Yes. A shot comes in and a save by Portillo. Mersch behind the net. Bordelot banging away at it. Bordelot skates out with it. Brisson along the boards. Now over to Jacob Truscott. Truscott turns it over. Here's a chance and a shot that goes wide of the net. Now whacked away. Turned over again by Wisconsin this time. Jay Karanen to it. Karanen flips it down. Not far enough for an icing. Wisconsin to it. Now that puck pinballs off Van Wy's stick. Portillo comes out and plays it around to Cam York. Now York in trouble. Gorniak takes it away. Lindmark with it. Lindmark circling around behind the net. Throws on the brakes. Waits. Now back to the half wall area. The Matty D. St. Foul, who has the goal for Wisconsin in this game, up along the boards. Now Beniers picks it out. Tries to get it to Luke Morgan. He can't quite get it free. Keaton Pearson across to D. St. Foul. Now Beniers there. Beniers back to Cam York. York in trouble. He's having problems in his own end right now. Pearson, Lindmark, D. St. Foul, they all bang away at it. Now Matty Beniers to it.
And they're getting hemmed in.
Yeah, comes free, and now it's loose. Beniers will break away. He might have a 2-on-1 with Luke Morgan. Beniers right in. Beniers waits. Takes a shot. He scores!
Wow.
Matty Beniers on a loose puck, and Michigan is struck twice in about 2 minutes to take a 2-1 lead with 16:40 to go
and making
in the second
something
period.
out of nothing. That truly was. Using his speed and his shooting ability, going, just between the glove and the left blocker, Wisconsin's netminder, and didn't right up from here where we can get a good angle and see the Wisconsin net. Didn't really look like a great shot, but it was elusive, and sometimes goalies aren't expecting something like that. Excellent goal by Matty Beniers. That'll be his 5th of the season.
And now all of a sudden it's 2-1 Michigan. The referee is talking to the Michigan bench about something, or actually to the Wisconsin bench as well. They're at both benches. Now Tony Granato is talking. Now they're going to go.
Beecher now in the face-off.
Let's hear what the referees have to say. Wisconsin is challenging the call on the ice, I think, for potential offsides.
Well, we'll see how this pans out. In the meantime, folks, and we see Pearson talking to his players, does not look happy with that call.
Let's take a look. That's onside. What are they challenging? I mean, I just looked at the first replay there. That's not even close.
Well,
they must be challenging something else because that wasn't even close to offsides. There weren't even. I think it was Lambert on the, or was it Morgan on the far side? He didn't even have any skates across the blue line.
Perhaps there's something away from the play. Well, you know, ref right now.
Yeah, the refs are talking to Mel Pearson. There's a lot of discussion. I'm not sure what it is that's being challenged, but it can't be the offsides. I mean, unless
there may have been a fractured play, you know, behind.
Well, it was a loose puck in the Michigan end. Beniers got to it. He sped down the ice. I mean, I don't see anything there. I'm not sure what they would be challenging.
You know, if they lose that challenge, does Wisconsin get a penalty?
I don't believe they have that rule in the NCAAs. We haven't seen many challenges. So now we're looking at the play in the corner. Oh, it's about whether the puck was played with a high stick. Right before Beniers got to it, it got flipped up in the air. And Kent Johnson played it up high. I don't know if that's a high stick or not. And let me tell you, that angle's going to be tough to tell. Because the only angle I've seen is from above. The referees are in the box reviewing it. This is a huge call here. It definitely looks potential, but I'm not sure there's inconclusive video evidence. That's going to be the question here.
And in their defensive zone as well, the Wolverines.
Yeah.
So there might be some, you know, if nothing more, this is Granato's wake-up call to the to Wisconsin, who has had 2 goals scored against them in the last 4 minutes.
We've seen 2 replays. They've both been from high up. Here comes another one. This might be the best angle. That's close. I don't.
We're looking at the TV now, folks.
Yeah, we keep looking at. Yep, call on the ice stand, say the referees. That's what I was saying. I don't think any of those angles were conclusive, frankly.
And Wisconsin's coach now is beckoning to the referee.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was definitely close, but there were no angles. Sometimes on goals, you get those angles where you can really see measuring against the crossbar. On that, the angle was just from such an odd position that I just didn't think there was any way you could be conclusive. And they did say call on the ice stands, which I don't know the vernacular here in hockey, but of course in football, call on the ice stands almost always means that they couldn't find conclusive video evidence. But here we go, right back to the action. Ciccolini in his own end, or in the offensive end rather. Blankenberg shot back behind the net. Beecher over to Power. Yeah, he pinched up. And now the puck will go out of play. Looks like off a stick. I think it will stay in the Wisconsin end. Shots now 12-9 Wisconsin, but Michigan has dictated about the last 10 or so minutes dating back to the first period. We've got 16:09 to go here in the second. 2-1 Wolverines in day one of a huge 2-game tilt between 2 top 10 teams, Michigan and Wisconsin. That face-off won back by Dylan Holloway. Now to Owen Power. Power's pass towards Holloway, and Holloway will come in off sides. Power got dumped there on the play. Not easy to do with a guy that size.
Yeah, I think he's looked a little bit lost on the ice since this second period started. If we go back to the play, the face-off just 2 plays before, I think it comes down to probably first game in a couple of weeks, and then playing against Wisconsin, who is they're pretty cheeky, especially in the offensive zone. The face-off now in the far right circle.
Tied up, and
Not
Blankenberg
circle,
gets to it.
Zone.
Now Owen Power across to Nick Blankenberg. Blankenberg banks it off the boards, looking for Nolan Moyle. Moyle banks it in, and Philip Lapointe goes in after it. Van Wyde digs it on the other side, reverses Imamoto to it. Imamoto banks it off the boards. Now Wisconsin comes up, and Holloway collides with Brock Caulfield. And now Owen Power will skate up with it. Badgers in the midst of a change. Power so strong with those strides. He comes into the offensive zone and gets knocked off his line. That's a good defensive play from Wisconsin defenseman. Couldn't see the number from our angle. Moyle pinches far side, Lapointe, and Moyle reverses. Michigan's forwards will go for a change. Everybody goes for a change except for Jacob Trescott, who had already come onto the ice. Now Wisconsin comes the other way. Down the right wing side, Tarek Baker, watched by Trescott, but he turns it over. Pastajov banks it around the boards to Bordelot, who just gets it free. Bordelot, the primary assist on Michigan's first goal in the game. Portillo waits behind his own net. He's in trouble. Sam Stanks to it. It's loose. Portillo's not in the crease. And then it's cleared on down. That is dangerous, dangerous play.
A great defensive play by Bordelot, who's able to knock the puck on his knees out of the defensive zone. And, that's what happens when you're a goaltender. You got to make a quick decision if you're going to go and play the puck.
Yeah.
Portillo, he's great size, but...
he loves to play the puck, but you're in the same position that a defenseman is in, and the number one thing defensemen have to do is make quick decisions.
Yeah.
And Portillo there just looked like a deer in the headlights with 2 forecheckers. He had an outlet pass, but he waited too long to make it. Now here's a pass across, and a great shot by Pelton Bice, and a big save by Portillo. That's easily Wisconsin's best chance of the period from point-blank range there. And this game really heating up now, 14:30 to go. Here in the second period, 2-1 Michigan. High skill hockey at the moment. Cam York up to Luke Morgan. Now picked up by Pastajov. Now here's a chance from a bad angle shot. Save, rebound. And it gets tipped around, and Wisconsin picks it up.
What a save.
Linus Weissbach.
Both ends of the net.
Backhands it in. Keaton Pearson there. Hands it over to Cam York. Now up to Luke Morgan. Now to Kent Johnson. Johnson down the left wing side. Johnson wiggles around one Badger forward, and then he'll send it on in. Shots 13-10 Badgers. Chances have been closer to even. This game has really evened out. And
that's going to be a penalty, right?
I'm not sure. I think it touched the boards.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was close. Wisconsin did play the puck out of play, but I think it was tipped off something. And you see on the replay there, the great chance from Pelton Bice. Didn't see who was able to make that pass from the far side, but Pelton Bice camped right in the slot.
Caulfield.
And Pelton Bice from a point-blank range just rips it right off the left pad of Eric Portillo. Face-off won by Michigan in the offensive zone. York wiggles around into the dot, spins around with it. Cam York waits, pass to the middle. There's a shot off the side. It looked like just for a moment Michigan had it. But a big save by Robbie Baydoun. Chances are being traded both ways. There's a shot blocked by Keaton Pearson. Banked around off the boards. Granowitz and Beecher. Beecher flips it out looking for Ciccolini. Couldn't get it to him. Now the Badgers control. S just past the center line. And he got the puck right into traffic. Cam York knocked it down. Keaton Pearson now around to Cam York. Ciccolini now over to Johnny Beecher. Beecher comes into the offensive end. Michigan's got numbers. Beecher, though, comes right in, takes a shot. It's loose. They score on the rebound. Beecher took the shot, and Baydoun, we talked about those rebounds in the first period. That was a juicy one, and trying to see the number, that looks like Eric Ciccolini, who tapped in the rebound, and all of the sudden it's 3-1 Wolverines, 12:55 to go in the second period.
Wow, what a turn of events. The past 18 minutes or so have just been all Wolverines in the offensive zone, making this This goes back to what we were talking about earlier, making chances out of nothing, and what better to do than to make chances off of some pretty bad rebounds.
And now Michigan's got a 2-goal lead, but it's the most dangerous lead in sports, the 2-goal lead in hockey. You feel like you've got room, but in reality, you're just 1 goal away from a 1-goal game. Badgers in their own end, it rims around as Power comes down, pinching in. Now the puck comes loose. Van Wy takes a shot. Baydoun snags it with the glove. He's had a lot of trouble with the glove today. Now a long diagonal pass. That'll be an icing if Michigan wins the race, and they just do. Holloway thought he was there first, but instead they give the nod to Blankenberg, and it will come all the way down. And now Michigan, after being outshot 8-1 at one point in this game, now lead in shots 14-13.
And they're putting their very talented first line out there, Bordelot, Brisson, and Pasajov. Am I wrong, or is Beniers? No, Beniers is on the Johnson line.
He's on the Johnson line, yes. And now 3 of the 4 lines have scored for Michigan. Bordelot's line has 1, Beecher's line has 1, and the Beniers line has 1. 4th of the season for Eric Ciccolini as they're announcing it right now. Assist to Johnny Beecher. Puck is loose there. There's a shot by Bordelot, high and rising. Puck is loose. It's rebound. I think it went off the pipe. And yeah, that was close. Michigan another chance as Robbie Baydoun continues to struggle. Blankenberg over to Bordelot. And now Blankenberg goes in after it, and Kent Johnson will have to play defense. Now Owen Power, look at that big long reach there to just tap the puck off the stick of Brock Caulfield. Brisson comes through the middle. He's at the block M, now over to Bordelot, left wing side. Bordelot comes in, he's got a trailer. He's going to find him. Triscott's shot was tipped off a Wisconsin stick. It changed velocity, and that was very, very dangerous for Baydoun. Able to get to it, though. Portillo wings it around to Jacob Triscott. Triscott gets tied up, but now potentially turned over. To Beniers. Beniers gets knocked down. The referee's really letting these 2 teams play here today. 1 penalty so far. That was very early on in the game. And I think the players like the way they're letting them play open and free-flowing right now. Johnson comes after it. He's behind the net. Johnson battles for it. Now Morgan to it. He's got players in front. Couldn't find Triscott, who is calling for it. Now Wisconsin takes it away, but Karanen able to hold it in at the line. Tipped around and up in the air. Now Luke Morgan brings it out. Caulfield comes up. There's a shot staying from distance. The blocker from Portillo, and that one will go out of play. 10:42 to go in the second period, and Michigan just keeps putting the foot on the gas here in this second stanza.
They sure have, and the Wolverines have really... Pearson must have told him something in the locker room, because they have been putting the heat on. Might I add, to go back to that John Beecher assist, that will be his 4th assist of the season, so he now has 8 points. Not as many points as he had last season around this time, but he's definitely become more responsible in his defensive end and on faceoffs.
Wisconsin with the puck in the neutral zone. Portillo comes out behind to play it again, and he'll just rim it around the boards. Tipped by Ciccolini, and they say there was a chance for Emberson to have held it in, and he chose not to, so there's no icing. Michigan corrals right at the block M. Cam York goes down. They say incidental contact. Emberson, Granowitz chases after him. Now the Badgers to it.
10 minutes to go in this second period now.
Yeah, exactly halfway gone in the contest. Keaton Pearson with it in front of his own net to Van Wy. Good poke check from Cole Caulfield, and now Van Wy showing speed down the wing. Granowitz holds it in. That was close to offsides. Now it's pinned up along the boards. Puck comes just free. Van Wy battles for it. Flipped on out. And then pass back across. Here's a chance streaking in. There's a shot, a save. Portillo got it with the glove, but it's a juicy rebound. And now Michigan able to just get it past the blue line. A streaking chance, and we have delayed offsides, which will allow Michigan to pick it up. There's a pass for Nolan Moyo down the right wing side. Moyo comes in, shot high, arcing rebound off the pads of Baydoun. Now the Badgers come out with it. Blankenberg shot tipped around, deflected. Oh, and a great blocker save there from Portillo.
Yeah, punching it away almost with his blocker.
Bordelot pass across to Power. Power flips it up high, and it's squeezed by Beydoun. 9:02 to go in the game, and in the second period, and this should take us to the commercial timeout here in the second period.
You know, I've noticed that the Wolverines have been aiming at Beydoun's blockers, trying to get some more rebound chances in the offensive zone, because they know that whether it's nerves or the ice conditions or the electrifying atmosphere here in Ann Arbor, Beydoun is off his game tonight. And I believe that it was probably a decision to start Beydoun over Rowe, and today maybe to give Rowe an opportunity to play tomorrow. And as he has had definitely a better season so far, at least a better past couple of games. Now we see the two teams talking to their coaches, and the goalies are now headed back to their respective nets. Great 2 saves that Portillo made these past 2 or 3 offensive zone attempts for the Wisconsin Badgers. He has not been tested as much this period, but he's managed to hold his own. And it's good for the Wolverines to have 2 really strong netminders. We know that Strauss Mann has had an absolutely excellent season, captain of the Wolverines, I might add. And now we are gearing up for an offensive zone face-off for the Wolverines, far left side. Bordelot versus Holloway.
They've had Holloway take a lot of defensive zone draws in this game, which I think speaks to the comfortability that Tony Granato has with Holloway as a defensive centerman, and that's obviously news to the Edmonton Oilers. Bordelot pass on the far side. The music is still playing, and whoever is in charge of the sound here at Yost should have turned that off when the game resumed.
Yeah, here at the good old hockey game.
Yeah, Bordelot after it. Emberson picks it up behind his own net, throws it on up to Brock Caulfield, and then Passajov tips away at it. Roman Ashan, a shot and a strange rebound. Now a high arcing shot comes in, and I think it might have gotten the mask of Portillo. He just fights it off. He's looked sharp in this game. Now S.
Good keeping.
Rims the puck around. Ashan in the corner. Karanen hits him. Now a pass to the far side. S. Skates down, now finds Ashan in the middle. Now the drive goes wide of the net. Truscott got a piece. Passajov tips it towards Truscott, and it is out. Now Tarek Baker sends it in. Both teams in the midst of changes. Portillo plays it around to Karanen. Karanen hit from behind by Stang, and Michigan still can't get the puck out. Badger forecheck starting to turn on a little bit, but now Beniers wiggles away, and here comes Michigan. Oh, and a great poke check, I think, by Sam Stang there in the center ice area. And now Wisconsin turns it back over. Potential rush, maybe a 2-on-1. There's a shot, save. Stang, rebound, another save. Portillo, it's loose. And Johnson swings it free. Another try comes in, and it's underneath Portillo, who's out of the crease. And now punches are thrown. Karanen and a Badger in the crease.
Outstanding left pad save. You're going to want to check that out on SportsCenter tonight, folks, because that was a point-blank opportunity. Portillo didn't know where the puck was. He was just using his reflexes, and he shut down. That was Stang, right? Right on the crease.
Yeah, Stang went backhand, forehand, and
wow.
Portillo sticks the left pad out. Holy jumping. You see the size of the 6'6" Swedish netminder there. Those legs are a little bit longer when you're that tall.
Certainly.
And it stays 3-1, but these two teams just trading great chances over the last few minutes. Johnny Beecher to do the draw.
Big Ten hockey is back, folks.
Keaton Pearson in the corner. Beecher bangs it around. Now Granowitz picks it up. Pass across for Ciccolini. Caulfield retreats to take it away. Cross to his defenseman. Waits for a moment. Now across to S. Banks it off the boards. York looking for Eric Ciccolini. Weissbach watches.
Both teams having difficulty getting through the neutral zone right now.
Yeah, we haven't said that much the last few minutes, but now a little bit calmer game. Badgers just playing catch between each other, and now a turnover. Now Michigan will get a try to come into the offensive zone. York will just flip it up into the air. Michigan will go for some changes. Beecher behind the net.
And the pace of this game has definitely slowed down the past minute or two. But, we see the puck get dumped into the Wolverine zone. Pearson's here to recollect it.
Yeah, Pearson watches Cole Caulfield in front of the Michigan net. Now they got a set play as Moyle enters the zone down the left wing side. Moyle tries to drag it in front. Pass! Looking, I think, for Van Wy in front of the net. Now the Wolverines still have it for a second, then they lost it. Caulfield up. Lindmark with decent foul. 3 Wolverines converge on 2 Badgers in the corner. Blankenberg, nice stick check there to take it away from D. St. Foul. Now it's battled for. D. St. Foul works it free. Owen Power goes down for it. Blankenberg wheels around. Blankenberg curls. Now up to Moyle, and then a pass through the center ice area. Badgers go back to retreat. 5:45 to go. And it's flipped up into the air, diagonally down into the zone. Trescott watches as the lone Badger, Lindmark, is in the corner. Sorry, Gorniak. Battled around.
Now
Brock Caulfield. He reverses. And now he puts it through the crease. No one there to find it. Passageoff will skate out the left wing side. Flips it into the air. That ever so useful clear, but not far enough for icing, which allows your team to reset. And now Wisconsin will curl around, approaching the 5-minute remaining mark here in the second period. Brisson almost had a great takeaway, but now instead it's Roman Ashan with a chance. Pass across, loose in front of the net, and cleared out by Karen, and it will just hop past the blue line. Badgers long shot in to Eric Portillo. Portillo grabs it with the glove, puts it down. Jay Karen banks it off the boards, looking for Jacob Trescott. Trescott watches, and Bordelot jams it free for a moment. Now S, stretch pass to the far side. Sam Stang comes in, shot blocked by Jay Karen in front of the net. Stang circles around. He's got a lot of space, though. He takes a shot. It's loose in front of the net, and Portillo makes another nice save.
Yeah, Stang has been generating a lot of the offense on this line, with Dylan Holloway.
And Brisson gets it out. Here comes Kent Johnson. He's on a breakaway. Kent Johnson right in, feels the defensive pressure. Couldn't get a shot away. That's a nice back check there from Wisconsin. These two teams, again, continue to have chances. Stang comes in with speed. He rips a shot wide of the net. Luke Morgan picks it up. Morgan watches. He'll skate across the center line and takes a shot. He scores! Oh boy, that's a goal that Robbie Baydoun will want back. Luke Morgan from the left circle whistles it by the glove, and now it's 4-1 Wolverines.
Just under the glove, between the pad and the glove. He's going to want that one back for sure. We saw that same exact shot from Beniers at the beginning of this period. And, on an innocuous play. Michigan has been great off the rush and managed to generate some great scoring chances. Beecher loses the draw now, and Wisconsin's coming.
4-1 Wolverines. We are now 3:45 remaining. If you're Michigan, you need to go into the second intermission with this lead at 4-1. Cannot let up here in the final little stretch. Beecher chases after it. Nice defensive play by Imamoto. Pinched along the boards. Ciccolini watches. Ciccolini has Wisconsin dig it free. Now they bring it on up. Here comes Cole Caulfield. The diminutive sniper takes a long shot that Keaton Pearson knocks aside. Pearson along the wall. Dug free over to Eric Ciccolini. Ciccolini's pass towards York is batted out. 3 minutes remaining here in the second period. Michigan has struck 4 times in the frame. Weisbach up to the top. Here's a shot high and swatted down with the glove of Portillo. Beecher is out of gas. He'll just bring it into the offensive end and swing it around, allowing his teammates to get fresh skaters out there. 2:44 remaining. Tipped around off the boards, dug free. Blankenberg comes to it. Blankenberg across the center ice line, and a long shot in, banks off the boards. Putting the glove down is Robbie Baydoun, and he'll hang on. 2:35 to go in the second period. 2-year point. Sam Stang, I think, has been the best Badger tonight, or at least in the last period or so, and Steve Yzerman, the Detroit Red Wings, have got to be happy about that for their 4th-round draft pick. He's looked very good around the net today for the Badgers. Draw one back by Beniers.
With good size, too.
Blankenberg wiggles. He'll go down into the crease looking for Beniers. Now it's swung back around. Owen Power at the point. Shot comes in wide of the net. Badgers will pick it up on the far side. Taken away there by Lambert. Lambert's pass looking for Beniers. Beniers is onsides into the zone. Beniers falls down. In trouble. Dumped there by Emberson. Approaching 2 minutes remaining in the second period. 4-1 Michigan. Shots 22-17 Wisconsin. Holloway comes in with space. Nice stick check there by Nick Blankenberg to deny that opportunity, but held in as the clear didn't get out. Into the corner, Owen Lindmark bodied by Blankenberg. He's played a strong defensive game as the Michigan junior defenseman. Nolan Moyle, dangerous pass in front of his own net towards Power. Puck still not out. Now Power is to it. Power across the center ice line, and he swings it in. 90 seconds left in the second period. Jacob Triscott with it in the neutral zone. Now picked up. Wisconsin trying to come on in. Jacob Triscott uses his angle, forces a pass to Lindmark in the slot, who couldn't get a shot away. Now Owen Lindmark comes out in front of the net. Two bodies go down in front of the cage.
And Gorniak trying to sneak it in there.
Now LaPointe, outlet pass to Van Wy. Van Wy comes speeding down the wing, trying to get around Emberson. Emberson does a great job to tie him up there in the corner. That one bounces around. Now picked up. Pass across. Weissbach is shot across to Caulfield, who had a chance, and a great defensive play by Van Wy to nullify it. York up to Pastajov. That one goes off some stick blades and out of play. 43 seconds remaining in the second period.
That Morgan goal, by the way, was nearly coast to coast in his second of the season. Really exciting to see, everyone getting a piece of the offensive pie this afternoon here at Yost Ice Arena. We're going to see a face-off now in the Block M. Bordelot
wins that draw back. York back across to Keaton Pearson. 36 seconds remaining in the second period. 4-1 Wolverines. They've made a statement here in this second period. Swung around the boards. Bordelot to it. Bordelot to Keaton Pearson at the point. Here's a shot that comes in, squeezed with the glove by Robbie Baydoun. 22.2 remaining. Catch you up on the goals here in this second period. Brisson, his sixth of the season. Beniers, his fifth. Ciccolini, his fourth. Those three came in a span of about 5 minutes, and then Luke Morgan, his second of the year, just a few minutes ago to put Michigan up 4-1. Matty D. St. Fowl's goal in the first period, the lone tally for Wisconsin. Now York, a bad angle shot, and a save by Baydoun. 17 seconds left in the second.
York has definitely evolved during his time at the University of Michigan, not only as an offensive defenseman, but with better defensive responsibilities as well. And it's exciting to see his 200-foot game grow.
Matty Beniers do the draw. He's got a goal in this period. Puck put down. Wisconsin clears it out. Stang after it. Mersch to it. 6 seconds remaining. Shot comes in wide of the net. Johnson's got a man behind the play. He's not going to get a pass there, and there's not enough time. He just pins it against the boards. And that'll do it for a triumphant second period for the Michigan Wolverines. Shots now 22-19 in the game. They outshot Wisconsin 12-11 in that period, but they got the better share of the chances. More importantly, great goaltending from Eric Portillo, and Michigan converts 4 times, and they have a 3-goal lead headed in to the third.
And we've only seen one penalty this whole game, and that was
very early on.
Yeah.
It was a hooking just 2:54 into the game by Nick Granowitz.
So this is 5-on-5 action that the Wolverines are converting on, not their high-flying power play.
Well, that'll do it for the second period. We'll take a small break, and we'll be back to bring you the third period in just a bit. Welcome back now to the third period of action between Michigan and Wisconsin here at Yost Ice Arena on WCBN Sports. I'm Alex Strain, joined by David Kramer now for the third period. Michigan scored 4 times in that second period after trailing 1-0 at the first intermission. They now lead 4-1 in the game. What stood out to you in that second period?
I definitely say the work of the freshmen, Maddie Beniers, and that Kent Johnson, Maddie Beniers, and Luke Morgan line was excellent. Additionally, Thomas Bordelot, although he only has 1 point in this game, has been all over this Wisconsin hockey team. That he has been exceptional this afternoon, and I think, alongside some great goaltending from our netminder Portillo, this should be the Wolverines should make sure they clean up this last period, and there's no reason they won't, especially with some unfortunate rebounds that have been given up by the Wisconsin Badgers netminder. In fact, they have changed their goalie in this period. I see Rowe out there now, the freshman goaltender who, if you were listening to the broadcast earlier, was playing exceptionally earlier this season.
Yep. Well, it was a rough 2 periods there for Beydoun, and so Rowe will come in, and I have to imagine we'll see Rowe starting in tomorrow's game between these two teams, perhaps getting him ready. Eric Portillo still in net for Michigan. He's been very strong in this game. Has surrendered a lone goal, but it was on a breakaway and a really nice shot at that from Matty D. St. Phal, bar down over the shoulder. Michigan wins the opening draw of the third period. Johnny Beecher's line out there to start the third, as he has to start each of the periods in this game. Granowitz takes a shot from a far angle. Cam York comes down from his defensive position to pick it up. Now Beecher banks it around the boards. Keaton Pearson at the top. Beecher curls into the slot, takes a shot, and there's the first chance for Michigan on Rowe, and he squeezes it awkwardly with the glove in his chest.
And that was a good save on a pretty low chance scoring opportunity from John Beecher, but as the hockey trope goes, it's all about putting pucks on net.
Dylan Holloway to do the draw with Garrett Van Wy. Van Wy jumps a little bit. Now they put the puck down. It's loose. Van Wy takes a shot right from the crease. Now another try. Battled for in front of the net. And now Wisconsin picks it up. Roman Ashan down the left wing side. Flipped high into the air. Bouncing around as Portillo plays it off the boards. Now to the point. Shot tipped. And now Michigan speeding away. They had LaPointe behind the play, but Moyle couldn't find him. Moyle speeds down the right side, wraps it around, and looking for a centering man. A big hit behind the play. No penalty coming. Michigan's bench is screaming there about I think an interference or maybe a charging, as there was a hit way after Moyle had passed the puck. And I think Bill McCult is still standing up behind the Michigan bench yelling.
Yeah, Moyle went back to the bench right after that huge hit. I don't think he saw the Wisconsin player coming.
Now comes up the ice. There's a quick chance for for Brisson, and Emberson with a great stick check there just to poke it away. 90 seconds in, some chances on both ends. Brisson picks it up. Now over to Bordelot. Wisconsin really playing physically right now, and a wraparound try. Oh, Rowe just got the pad down.
Wow.
Now Brisson with the rebound chance. Couldn't put it in. Emberson around. And we're going to have an offsides as Michigan carried it in early, but now 3 quick shots from Michigan, and it's even at 22 shots apiece, and Rowe just able to get that pad across on the wraparound try from Bordelot. But Michigan, they are not letting up right now here early on in this third period.
You can see how deadly Thomas Bordelot can be around the net, especially behind the net, making that, he just didn't move his head at all, threatening to shoot at all times.
That pass cut off by Luke Morgan. Wisconsin will try to bring it into the offensive zone. They need to make up 3 goals in this third period. Now it's loose behind the net. Battled around. Matty Beniers to it. Luke Morgan on the puck. Will skate it out. 2 minutes gone here in the third period. Morgan comes down the right wing side. Knocked off the puck by Imamoto. Johnson to it. Beniers backhands it around. Trescott over to Keaton Pearson at the far point. Banks around the boards. Picked up by Beniers behind the net. He ran into his own man, Johnson. Now it's loose. And one Badger defender, that's Imamoto, is without a stick. Now Morgan a shot. That one blocks off a stick. Imamoto, without his stick, is trying to get to it. He just has to kick it. Kent Johnson gets in there. Imamoto's stick is laying on the ice. I think it's broken. Now Beniers loses his stick. And now it's picked back out, and an opportunity for Michigan as Wisconsin turns it over. Johnson skates in, and he had it slide off his stick blade before he could pull the trigger.
That stick is still at the red line.
Yeah, still struggling to get it out of their own zone right now. Michigan's forecheckers are just hounding him. Beecher spins around with it, tries to go around Pelton Bice.
Oof.
He was looking for Weissbach, just couldn't connect. Keaton Pearson, a little lucky there.
Could have been dangerous.
Banked off the boards, and up comes Johnny Beecher. Beecher puts it on in, and that stick is still laying in the playing field right now. And now Ciccolini, a great takeaway. Thievery on Peltonen.
Peltonen had no idea who was behind him.
Now Blankenberg pinched for a moment to hold it in. Badgers get it out. We've played 3.5 here in a high-flying third period. Still 4-1 Michigan as it was at the end of the second frame.
Wolverines leading the shot department 23-22.
And if they were down 8-1 in shots at one point, it took Michigan just a little bit of time to get their feet under them in the game. Now here comes Cole Caulfield, burst of speed through the middle, lost it off his stick though. Michigan picks it up. Philip Lapointe down the left wing side, cut into the middle and had it slide off his stick blade. Van Wy in the corner, pinches on Ashan. Imamoto comes out, long pass across for Owen Power. Power waits. And a long stretch pass finds Philip Lapointe, and Lapointe sends it in. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. Badgers still haven't had a great look on net. Michigan's had a few here in the third period.
Cole Caulfield, isn't he fun to watch?
Very, very fast, and you have to imagine Montreal Canadiens fans will be very excited to watch him in the NHL at some point in the near future as it's tipped around, picked up, and now down the left wing side here comes Brendan Brisson. He sees Bordelot, the trailer, pass across to Pastujov. It's loose in front!
Oh,
and
wow.
then a man ended up in the net. That was
a wide open net.
It was a wide open net, but the net was off its moorings.
Truscott couldn't put it in before the net got dislodged.
Michigan's odd man rush was nullified by the fact there was a Wisconsin player laying in the net.
You know, it's interesting to see how the World Juniors has kind of impacted all these, both of these teams and their rosters. And, Dylan Holloway had a pretty decent World Juniors. Maybe not the highest scoring player, but certainly not a bad player. Cole Caulfield kind of underperformed.
He didn't get to play on the top line. He did play with Matty Beniers on a line, though, and they did a little bit. But Caulfield's definitely looked more comfortable in the NCAA. And you have to wonder, as play resumes, if there is a scenario where after the season, Montreal could try and bring Caulfield right into the NHL for a playoff push and have him add to their firepower offensively. Back to the action. We've crossed the 5 minutes gone mark of the third period. Michigan's got it in their own end. The puck rims around. White jerseys carry it on out. Beniers pass, looks for Luke Morgan. Morgan speeds into the offensive zone, takes a shot in on Rowe, forces an offensive zone draw. And
that is called not giving up a rebound on a shot to the pads. Good save by Rowe, making sure his presence is known. Seeing that puck bounce off of his pad and quickly putting a glove over it. Now we're going to see this Bordelot line that had a chance just 2 or 3 minutes ago in the offensive zone.
Bordelot wins the draw. Pastujov put it in front and couldn't find anyone to get on it. Now a shot comes in from the point. Rowe kicks it aside. Imamoto in the corner. Now tipped around. It's loose in front. Pastujov, a chance, and a great glove save by Rowe. He's getting some opportunities to goaltend right now.
He is. And the Wolverines are not going easy on him. So far, we're goalless in this period, but certainly not goalless in this game. If you're just tuning in with us, the score is 4-1 in favor of the Michigan Wolverines. There are 14 minutes and 21 seconds left in this third period. The shots are 26-22 in favor of UM. The face-off now in the offensive zone, far right circle for the Wolverines.
Beecher and Pelton Bice do the draw. Beecher wins it back. Shot comes in from Blankenberg. Another glove save by Rowe. If nothing else, although Michigan hasn't scored yet in the first 6 minutes of this period, that's time Wisconsin is losing that they desperately need to claw back into this game in a 3-goal hole down 4-1.
I'd like to note that we haven't really seen that much, offense coming from the point in this game from either hockey teams. It's mostly been a lot of broken plays caused, or, in Wisconsin's case, unfortunate rebounds giving up goals.
Yamamoto clears it down the ice. Beecher to it, and he'll just parry it back the other direction. Rowe going to play the puck. Reversed it towards the defenseman on the far side. Now here comes Weissbach through the middle. Weissbach trying to get around Owen Power. Blankenberg came back to give Power some help, and Blankenberg gets to it. I thought he's been very good defensively here in this game. Michigan's defensemen as a whole have been very solid.
Cam York with 2 points tonight.
Pelton Bice down the wing, just into the offensive zone. Caulfield comes in. His shot whistles over top of the net. Now tipped around, just held in at the blue line. Wisconsin leaves for a change, though, so Portillo puts it down right to Owen Power.
And we see Caulfield and Holloway now on this first line for the for the Badgers, maybe reuniting some magic in the last 15 or so, 13 or so minutes.
Van Wy pass in front of the net. Lambert was there looking for an opportunity, couldn't put it home. Backhand pass around, Banks off the boards. Now the puck is turned over. Lambert, and Michigan carries it in offsides as the turnover was right at the blue line. 13:26 to go in period 3. Still 4-1 Wolverines.
Well, as we were talking about earlier, this game has really been a matter of what you do when the puck is bouncing around, tumbling behind the net or in the right in the slot, and we've seen Rowe handle a lot of those high pressure chances right in front of his net exceptionally well this afternoon. We're going to expect to see him tomorrow evening, or tomorrow
late afternoon.
Yeah, late afternoon back here at Yost, starting for the Badgers. Now we have that Beniers line out there with Morgan and Johnson. What a fun line to watch.
Beniers wins the draw back. Trescott to Karanen. Karanen rims it around the boards and in. Wisconsin has Mersch play it on the far side. Mersch's stretch pass through the legs of Karanen. Now Trescott comes over to give him some help. Morgan finds it. They might have numbers into the offensive zone. Bouncing puck, though, was tricky for Matty Beniers to handle.
A little too hot.
Trescott hit from behind by Sam Stang, but then coming back on the play was Kent Johnson to pick it up. Now Beniers is going to get on his horse. He comes down the right wing side, throws on the brakes, looking for Johnson in the middle. Couldn't find him. Emberson picks it up. Michigan's going to have to get back. Badgers up on the play. Shot blocked. Harmlessly wide of the net. Blankenberg reverses to Power. 8 minutes gone here in the third period. One shot for Wisconsin. They have not mounted the offensive effort they're going to need to come back into the game thus far. Kent Johnson skates into the offensive zone. Michigan comes in on sides. Johnson needs to get off. Bordelow's line is out there right now, waiting to get Pastajov on. Now he's out there. Long feed in. Portillo directs it towards Power. Power behind his own net. Now a pass in front of shot, and a great save by Portillo. That chance came out of nowhere.
Another point blank.
But Portillo makes another big stop. Michigan's goaltending is shown out today, along with pretty much every other part of the team. Pelton in, long shot in. Pastajov to it. Now to Owen Power.
Each time these Wolverines have a puck go back into their defensive zone, you just see 3 or 4 of them back, before any of the Badgers can generate some offense.
Stretch pass tipped into the offensive zone by Brisson to negate the icing. Michigan gets a wholesale change. S through the neutral zone, tipped off a stick.
The Badgers are going to have to work on their forecheck.
Pearson tries to clear it out, can't do so. He'll get another shot at it, and he'll actually just send it over towards York. Now pinching on the far side, the Badgers. Centering pass, loose in front of the net. Nobody there. Emberson, right point towards Weissbach. Knocked off the puck for a moment by York. Still controls, though. Squeezed behind the net. Now Granowitz to it. Granowitz banks it off the boards, and Beecher overskated it, but it is out of the zone finally. Pelton Bice.
Cole Caulfield now.
He comes in and York meets him. A nice defensive play there by Cam York to turn it aside. He's been good at both ends, has Cam York. And now LaPointe behind the net, turned over by Nolan Moyle to take it away.
Yeah, good to see him back out on the ice after a pretty big hit earlier in this period.
Now here's a shot. Trescott from the point. It's loose in front of the net. Never got through to Rowe. And some players down in front of the net. Moyle there. Van Wy watching. Holloway skates out with it. Roman Ashan watches. Trescott after it. Trescott to Karanen. Karanen banks it off the boards. Now a shot from the point. Oh boy, and that one took a weird bounce, and it goes through the crease. Now Wisconsin parries it out into the center ice area. 9:25 now remaining in the third period. Very few whistles here in this final 20 minutes thus far. Caulfield waits, skates to the middle, takes a shot.
Good blocker save through traffic.
Yeah, Portillo was all over it, makes the stop. Now Johnson comes up into the offensive zone, tries to drag it to his forehand. It's loose in front.
Oh,
Beniers
wow.
almost stripped S of the puck.
Nifty play there.
Now Blankenberg is going to wheel around behind his own net under 9 minutes remaining. Blankenberg banks it off the boards and down. We haven't had a whistle in 4 or 5 minutes of game time now. S up to Mersch, just continuous end-to-end play. Emberson brings it up. His pass for Stang intercepted by a Michigan stick. Couple bodies loose on the ice. Now Power digs it free across to Nick Blankenberg. Blankenberg backhand pass to Owen Power. Power across the blue line, then the center line, then the other blue line. He's into the offensive end, leaves it behind. A shot from Brisson comes in, and a big juicy rebound. Thomas Bordelot tried to hold that puck
What
in,
a
could not.
What a keep-in.
And they're going to blow it off sides. 8:16 remaining here in the contest. It's now 4-1, or still 4-1 Michigan.
You know, we saw a little flash of Power, trying to generate some offense, steamrolling into this Wisconsin offensive zone. Now about 8 minutes left in this final frame of this hockey game. So far, the Wolverines' offense has died down a little bit in this last period, but I think that's due to some sound goaltending from Wisconsin and their freshman netminder Rowe. Things that we're going to be looking for in the rest of this period. How well can the Wolverines manage to hold on to their lead? I think, Alex, I don't know about you, but I feel pretty confident that they can close this one out.
Michigan right now is playing really well.
And no thanks to Portillo. He hasn't had to do that much tonight, but when he has, he's made some really great saves. We're going to see a face-off here now in the neutral zone, the right side near the offensive zone, near the Wisconsin end. Bordelot, the Bordelot line, Brisson.
Bordelot just kind of, puck goes to the side. Now Michigan to it. Keaton Pearson across center ice takes a long shot in. Bordelot tried to fill the other side. Now puck tipped around. York holds it on the point. And one of the things to talk about is while Portillo has made a few A-plus saves, Michigan's defense as a whole I think has been really strong these last 2 periods.
They have. And there's not really that much to say about it because they've been really good and sound and comfortable. And a good word to describe it is calm. They haven't had to do anything crazy.
Wisconsin has a player bite the dust. No call coming. Again, 1 penalty in this game. Referees have really let these 2 teams play. Bordelot, pass to Brisson. Shot was blocked.
A saucer pass.
Now York with it at the left point. Takes a shot in. Bordelot loose in front of the net. Another try. And it still is. Oh, and they blew the whistle when Rowe didn't have it. Very quick whistle right there.
Some crafty playmaking by Bordelot. Enters the zone on the near side. Saucer pass. Opportunity to Brisson, who's there. Takes a shot. It's saved. Puck bounces around right in the crease. Bordelot tries to put it in, with the one-handed, essentially swipe it in. What a great opportunity. Now we see Beecher against Holloway.
Beecher is not able to win that draw. Holloway wins it, and now up the ice Here comes Holloway. He comes in, takes a shot that I think Portillo got a piece of. Now Ciccolini bowls a guy down. Est, big shot in. There's a save by Portillo. Holloway swung it through the crease as Portillo was down. No one to it the far side. Now it's turned over. Beecher a potential breakaway. Beecher right in, saved by Rowe.
Wow.
And then a whiff by S in the corner there. Granowitz almost had a chance. Caulfield comes up on the left side. Caulfield takes a shot that Blankenberg got his stick on. Now, you may notice that Holloway and Caulfield are playing together right now on this line. Caulfield comes in, leaves it behind. Holloway drags. His shot is blocked by Blankenberg. Wisconsin starting to buzz a little bit. 7 minutes remaining. There's a shot and a save. Great job by Blankenberg to get the rebound. Another try goes through the crease and will rim around the far side. Badgers right now showing that desperation push while they still have time to feasibly score 3 goals with 6.5 remaining in the game.
And we know what type of damage that Holloway, Caulfield, and even Stang can do. And we see Stang now out on the ice, but Moyle's able to collect it out of his defensive zone. Get a good pass to Johnson.
And credit Cameron Rowe so far. He's been very strong for Wisconsin since being inserted into the game here at the start of the third period. This could easily be 6-1 Michigan with some of the chances the Wolverines have gotten. Now here's a shot that comes in, saved by Portillo. Badgers just throwing everything at the net right now.
Good block by Beniers.
And LaPointe finds his man across the ice. That's Johnson. Johnson goes back across for Morgan, and Gorniak will pick it up. Beniers getting on his horse to chase back. Under 6 minutes remaining in the game. Gorniak goes through traffic, and the Michigan defenders able to bring him down legally. Johnson slips, and the Badgers at the red sweaters collect it up. 5:35 to go in the contest. 4-1 Wolverines here in game 1 of a huge 2-game weekend series at Yost Ice Arena. Puck tipped around. Luke Morgan chases after it with Michael Pastujov as well. Pastujov to it, rims it around, and then Rowe hangs on. 5:18 remaining.
This Wolverine team has played some great 200-foot hockey this afternoon, and we've seen these forwards come back on the on the back check, speeding up like we just saw with Beniers heading back into his own defensive zone. And as we were saying earlier, for every Wisconsin player, there's about 3 Wolverines, ready waiting for them just beyond the blue line.
Shots 31-29 Michigan. This has been the most lopsided period in shots. But Michigan still hasn't scored. A lot of great goaltending from Rowe, and Portillo stands tall at the other end to keep this game 4-1. Weisbach gets it out to Pelton Weiss, but then a nice takeaway by Pastujov. Michigan is going to skate right in with it. Bordelow's shot is deflected there and out of play. It just hopped over the boards, and it's wedged between the boards and the mesh netting. We'll do a face-off in the Badger end. 5:01 remaining.
Maybe a souvenir up there for one lucky fan, one of the lucky cardboard fans we have here tonight at the game, sitting just in front of us. We see Holloway again with Cole Caulfield on that first dangerous scoring line.
Beecher wins the draw. Pearson takes a shot. It's deflected, and it goes in.
Wow.
Granowitz will get credit for the goal. That shot changed directions and wiggles its way through the 5-hole of Cameron Rowe, and Michigan now will go up 5-1 with 4:56 to go, and that just about will be the frosting on the cupcake, perhaps.
Yeah, if you're Cameron Rowe, there's nothing really you can do about a tip like that.
Yeah. Shot
the
by
Wolverines
Pearson.
have
off
really
the
managed
arm of Granowitz
to spread the wealth this afternoon. Everyone's getting a piece of the pie.
Now, face-off at center ice, quickly brought into the Michigan end. Dylan Holloway. Now Keaton Pearson battles for. Cam York is to it. Now it's loose in front of the net. Portillo watches, and then York takes it away, and it's going to be a delayed penalty upcoming to Wisconsin. Granowitz goes through 2 men. He comes right in.
Ooh.
That was a very quick whistle.
And a good dangle.
Yeah, Granowitz trying to slice through the defense. I don't think Wisconsin had possession there for them to blow the whistle that fast.
I'm not really sure what this penalty is for either.
It was in the offensive zone for Wisconsin, and it's going to be to Roman Ashan. Slashing is the call. So Michigan now, 4:33 to go in the game,
They get to test out their deadly power play, third in the NCAA, 28.3% converting chance percentage. And they're going to start this power play with Philip LaPointe, Nick Blankenberg, Matty Beniers, Owen Power.
This has generally been
Johnson.
the better of the two power play units for Michigan this season. Power to Johnson. Johnson in the left circle. Beniers is the one in front of the net. Normally LaPointe's in front of the net. Now they get it to Blankenberg. Blankenberg waits. And Power can't hold it in. Michigan doesn't really need to score on this. If nothing else, they just want to run the clock out.
Yep.
And they now have 2 minutes to get to it. Now Beniers along the boards. Tipped around. Lindmark.
And those Wisconsin penalty killers want to do everything they can to prevent another
Beniers
goal.
to Blankenberg, back to Blankenberg, and a shot. Wings high and over top the net. That was a nice pass by Beniers to set that up with Nick Blankenberg. Beniers behind the cage, across to Johnson. He's got Blankenberg at the point. Johnson skates around with it. He waits, finds Power. Power back to Blankenberg.
A minute remaining in this
out of
power
Beniers,
play.
tipped up in the air. Yamamoto to it. Can't clear it out, though. And now Power is going to skate to his left. 3:20 to go in the game. 45 seconds left in the man advantage. Power to it. Great pass across it. Loose in front. And Beniers couldn't get the receiving pass by Blankenberg after some really nice high-skill passing. Power waits, comes in, takes a shot that's blocked. These Badgers players still sacrificing their bodies here in this game. Johnson takes a shot loose on the side. Battled for it's on the mesh netting behind the net. Now Beniers, Blankenberg finds Johnson. Johnson waits, rips a shot that's saved by Rowe. Blankenberg waits. He rips a shot, saved by Rowe. Beniers back across. Power waits. He comes in, takes a shot that's blocked down and cleared down the ice by Wisconsin violently towards the Michigan bench.
Well,
2:30 to go in the game now. Michigan got a lot of chances on that power play. Rowe has played really well in this third period to keep it just 5-1.
yeah, that penalty kill shot directed eerily close at the M on the Michigan logo, but right below their bench.
Lambert takes a shot towards Rowe, and Rowe scoops it with the stick, and it deflects out of play. 2:09 remaining. Michigan 5, Wisconsin 1. This game no longer in question in terms of the outcome. Michigan will go to 26 points in the conference, 15 games played. Wisconsin will stay at 34 points in the conference, 17 games played. So Michigan will be 8 back of the Badgers, but with 2 games in hand and 1 more game tomorrow. Tomorrow's game will loom extremely important in the Big Ten title chase. If Michigan can get the sweep, they will continue to control their own destiny moving forward with that big series in Minneapolis against the Gophers in the last weekend of the season. And of course, we still don't know when Michigan will make up that series with Penn State. Moyle comes in, he takes a shot, loose in front of the net, and then Rowe gets the glove down.
It's getting a little bit chippy in front of the net here now. This Wisconsin team is clearly frustrated, especially Holloway. Just to note, during that power play for the Wolverines, the Badgers penalty kill unit was out there for the entire 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And likewise for the Wolverines power play unit. And they really had some very creative scoring chances that they made work of. It was good to see the freshman Owen Power there out now. Out there then. Now we see Bordelot.
Bordelot wins that draw back. Brisson takes a shot that goes wide of the net now. 98 seconds remaining in the game. This one tips out of play. Shortly after this game concludes, Notre Dame and Minnesota will be playing their second game. I think Michigan would probably prefer the Irish to win tonight, which could help Michigan claw their way again back in the standings hunt.
And you wouldn't normally say that a Wolverine is rooting for Notre Dame to win anything in any sport, but in terms of the Big Ten rankings, that's definitely something, not only a game to watch, but to keep your eye out for to help the Wolverines rise in the NCAA and the Big Ten standings. There's about a minute and 34 seconds left in this game. Shots are 36-30 in favor of the Wolverines, as is the score, 5-1. And the face-off will be in the neutral zone, the far left side. It's won by the Wolverines.
Karanen banks it off the boards. Granowitz slaps it on in. Yamamoto across to Sam Stang. Stang banks it out. Tipped around. Michigan just content to play calmly here as we approach the final minute of the game. It's going to be a convincing Michigan win, out shooting Wisconsin at the moment 36-30, thanks in part to a dominant third period where they've only scored 1 goal, but they've been out shooting Wisconsin 17-8 in this frame. Tipped around. Badgers send it down. Trescott to it, 50 seconds remaining. Trescott to Morgan. He gets across the block M, now into the offensive zone. Karanen ladles it wide of the net. Brock Caulfield will speed down the right wing. Wisconsin's still going to press here in the final 40 seconds. That shot comes in wide of the net. Rimmed around.
Half a minute left.
Now Van Wy across center into the offensive zone. 25 seconds left. His teammates getting a change. Van Wy just pins it against the boards to let the time run. 3 Badgers there digging away. Lambert digs it free. It goes through the wickets of Power at the point and dribbles back out to the center ice area. Lambert chases after it. 8 seconds left. Lambert pinned against the boards. Kerr with it. Van Wy there. 2 seconds. 1, and that'll do it. Michigan defeats Wisconsin 5-1 in today's game. Outshoot the Badgers 36-30. They fell down 1-0. Put up 4 in the second, a 5th in the third, and they get a convincing and huge win here today.
Yeah, the last 50 minutes of this game, you could say, were just all Michigan the whole time. You know, I think takeaways, especially for tomorrow, we're going to want to see how Wisconsin handles, this Wolverines offense, and especially if the Wolverines are able to get another game or another win against the Badgers tomorrow, it could really, change the narrative surrounding Wisconsin even, considering
Wisconsin rode in so hot to this weekend, and they've got a lot to talk about in the locker room, certainly after this game. It'll be very interesting to see how these two teams come back at it tomorrow. With Cameron Rowe likely to start for Wisconsin, I have to think Strauss-Mann will start for Michigan. Michigan's been rotating the 2 goalies the last several weekends. Portillo, though, played very well today. Stopped 29 of 30 Wisconsin shots. The goals from Brisson, Beniers, Ciccolini, Morgan, and Granowitz. Any last thoughts?
This break for Michigan athletics is turning out to be somewhat of a good thing, and I think you could say that even about this Wolverines basketball team as well. They may benefit from having some time off, despite what many Illinois fans may say.
Well, that does it for our broadcast here today. 3 stars, Portillo, Morgan, and York in this one. Final score, Michigan 5, Wisconsin 1. WCBN Sports will be back at it tomorrow at 5 p.m. here at Yost Ice Arena. Stevie McGregor and Amir Bektis will be on the call. Until then, for David Kramer, Alex Train, saying good night and go blue from Yost.